For months, Arlington police have been dealing with cop watchers at scenes and investigations. They videotape and often haggle and hassle officers. Well, now, after the first arrest, the police chief is talking about the concerns and how they have been handling these situations. Brandon Todd is in our Fort Worth newsroom right now with an interview you'll see only on Fox 4. Brandon.
Yeah, Chief Will Johnson sat down with me and discussed this problem that has been going on for several months. He said there's a fine line between shooting video and interfering with a police investigation, and he said this weekend that line was crossed.
You're being detained. Do not.
This is the video that cop watchers are calling an assault. It's posted on Facebook. Saturday night, Arlington police pull a driver over. The Tarrant County Peaceful Streets Project is rolling video, and at some point, Janie Lucero is arrested.
I'm going to run the range.
Lucero is the wife of Corey Watkins, president of Open Carry Tarrant County, an outspoken critic of Arlington police. He was arrested that night, along with fellow watcher Joseph Ty.
An officer has to be able to do the job that the community has asked them to do.
Arlington Police Chief Will Johnson says his officers are used to being recorded on camera and seeing videos like this posted online. In this particular instance, he says his officers on scene asked around 20 or so people, many of them shooting video of the traffic stop, to step back to a certain distance to give his officers room to work.
With any type of external variables, whether it might be cars or roadway or speed or people, pedestrians, that might distract them from their ability to do their job.
Normally, all we see is video posted by the cop watchers, but in this case, Arlington police released some of their video to Fox 4 News. From the dash camera of a backup officer, this is what the officer saw when he arrived on scene. The person you hear yelling at the officer is Corey Watkins.
You're about to hit my wife with your
Johnson says the watchers were surrounding his officers from three sides. And as you see in this video, Corey Watkins was armed with a black powder pistol, which is legal to open carry in Texas.
That they're responsible for the safety of those that are on the scene that they are conducting. And we have to make sure that all parties' interests are represented in that.
The attorney for Watkins and his wife, Alex Kim, says Watkins was minding his business, complied with officers' requests, and was arrested anyway.
They were quiet, they weren't disturbing anybody, they were on a sidewalk, on a public street, just recording the police like they're entitled to do.
Kim says Watkins was arrested in the same area he was asked to stand by police.
And then one officer came around and grabbed her individually and started pulling her out, and that's when she jerked away. My inclination is things mostly because she didn't even know who was grabbing her. It was just kind of a knee-jerk reaction.
Chief Johnson says he has asked for dialogue with these groups.
We haven't been able to get anyone to accept that invitation. We're still open to doing that.
Now, Chief Johnson also pointed out that that night, 2 times prior to that incident, there were traffic stops that were being recorded by multiple people. And he says, Steve, in those particular cases, there were no issues whatsoever.
2 questions quickly on that first one. Were the same people involved in the protest or possibly different at the different locations?
It's likely that they were the same people. Okay. A group of people gathered together videotaping, but he had no way of knowing what names or what specific people were at all 3 of those.
Got it. And if our viewers are watching closely, they've seen that there is an Arlington police officer recording, not just the dash cam, holding a camera. Did the chief talk about why they're doing this?
Right, you do see that on one of those. He didn't address that particular officer, but did say it isn't any sort of directive that he's given his officers to go ahead and start videotaping. Instead, something that they would do on their own. He suggested it might even be that officer was wanting to protect himself and make sure that if the dash camera isn't picking up something, that he is.
Okay, Brandon Todd in the Fort Worth Newsroom, thank you.